What's going on, guys? It's Colteor here again with some CALLOUS Invitational 6 Round 2 content. We've got Marcop versus Pack in an elimination lower bracket match, which I feel like not many people would have predicted if you had told them that in round 1, but here we are. And yeah, Marcop got sent down by Watermess in one of the biggest upsets of the tour, if we believe the predictions. And Pack got sent down by Jirachi in some really close games that I recommend you watch if you haven't. Watch markups too, there's some fun sets in there, but let's quit focusing on the past, let's focus on the now, and here goes. So, leads Markop on the left, leading Skarmory against Pack's Hariyama. Pack can get out of the way, doesn't opt to knock off, maybe fearing an early drill peck. Fori is going to come in, but it gets taunted, so it won't be able to spike, and it doesn't opt to spin, also fearing drill peck potentially. So, turn 4, Coon comes in on the Tyranitar, takes Fire Blast. Markop has a spike, Pack doesn't. Doubles back to Skarmory for Markop as Pack reveals his Celebi to be the Suicune answer. And Leech Seed, so likely just a defensive Celebi, which would certainly fit the pace of the defensive Fori Hariyama team Pack's bringing. We do have Fori coming in here, but Tyra is unrevealed, so it probably wants to get out of the way of Fire Blast. And Markop just going for a Focus Punch, which is going to blank into the Ments. Does 23 there. Pack doubling back to Fori, but it eats a Rock Slide. So between that and the spikes, it's getting pretty chipped here. And it's going to Rapid Spin, breaking the focus of Tyra actually there, so good move from Pack. Unlikely to be Rock Slide, Focus Punch, and Fire Blast, probably just a BKC Tyra. Markop coming back in, spiking up. Remains to be seen if he has a way to get rid of Fori's spikes here. He does Drill Peck, and in the long term, he will win, especially because Hariyama hasn't knocked the Skarmory yet. However, he won't not force the Fori out before it gets 3 layers. And now it can, of course, just spam spin. And Skarm will only be limited to 1 layer on the way out. Whole team revealed for Pack now as Jirachi comes in. Throws up a Wish. Here comes Claydol. Rapid Spin totally free because there's no Ghost. And just like that, we're back to 1 layer versus none. Gengar coming in. Pack spikes, so it's back to 1 layer versus 1 layer. And a double back from Markop. He's getting his own tire in on what is essentially guaranteed to be a suit tire from Pack, especially because it revealed Fire Blast. And there's Focus Punch again. Gonna do not that much to Hariyama, actually. I would have thought that did more. Maybe it's a bulkier Hariyama. Well, not sure yet. Knockoff doesn't reveal investment, obviously. It does hit the Claydol, and it's no longer going to be gaining lefties, which could be huge if it gets pursued later. Markop just opts to stay in an Earthquake the Fori. Doesn't have anything crazy like Roro's HP Fire to try and handle it. Fori does reveal HP Bug as Claydol switches out, so certainly not going to take one of those very well without lefties. Skyrim, however, can take him all day, so it's just going to get up another layer as Fori switches out. And it's going to eat a Thunder here from the Jirachi. Markop doesn't want to send his Claydol back in, which was the response last time, probably because the lack of lefties. And he's just going to get 3 spikes up against what is revealed to be a Wish Calm Mind Jirachi here. And it does have Ice Punch, and that's a big crit there. Wish CM Jirachi is usually EV to be quite defensive, but Stab Earthquake still would have done a nice chunk. And obviously Markup now has no way to get rid of spikes for the rest of the game, so that was a big crit right there. Pack, however, well, he loses a little ground right after. He leaves Ments in, makes a misprediction with Dragon Claw. Doesn't KO the tire or come even close while it eats Rock Slide for almost its entire health bar. And last revealed for Markop, so it's Jolteon. Jolt So pretty traditional Jolt spikes with a Claydol over the meta slot is what we're seeing from Marcop here. And Jolt could be pretty threatening if it has some way to get past this Celebi. Does it have HP Ice, Toxic? Alright, looking like Roar is the best answer. The Leech from the Celebi, though, is going to help heal up all that Spikes damage. So not too good for them. And do see a double there. Fori got roared in, and Pack doubles out to suit Tire as Marcop tries to pivot Gengar in. Gengar takes only 74 from the pursuit, though. That is a bulky Gar for sure. And now Suicune's in. Again, if this has Ice Beam, it could be a real threat. Just going to surf as Jirachi comes in, and it does not take that well at all with the 3 spikes. Jolt comes in on the Thunder, gets healed up for practically everything, so it's at 88 and could be a real threat here. Thunderbolt, Wish, sure, but the Jirachi does not have Protect, so it's going to have to get out of the way. And yeah, Jirachi is dead. Nothing more than a Spike Sack at this point, so we are essentially 4-4. Celebi does reveal HP Grass as Jolteon just goes for Roar again. However, not Leech Seeding there means Fori is going to be quite low. Going to have to fear Thunderbolt here, and, well, didn't fear it enough. Fori goes down. Back to Celebi here. This Jolteon, a real threat, even just with Roar and Thunderbolt, because Celebi has to stay in, take Spikes damage. Can't Leech Seed every time, because then it would never heal, so it wastes a turn with Recover. Celebi coming in on what is another T-Bolt. And yeah, even just one T-Bolt and one layer of Spike, Celebi's at 59. So pressured to recover again, which gives Gaia free entry. We're going to see back to Suit Tire from Pack. We are. And now Pack's tire is getting pretty low. The Gengar might be able to beat it with Spike's chip the next time it comes in. Pack does trap the opposing tire in with his Spike Sack. Gets Mence in, who could deal some damage. And Jolteon actually comes in there for Pack, or for Marcop. So it's down, and it's going to be up to the Coon and the Gengar to win the game, pretty much. And we do see Gengar has Ice Punch, but that is a very specially defensive Celebi. That took nothing. We do see Boom, however, and just like that, the game is 2-2. Salament's coming in at 7%, just barely living the sand, and it'll be able to get a hit off on the Coon. And 41%, however, with the tire being as low as it is, I'd say that's good game for Marcop. Coon's faster, gonna need a Bright Powder Surf Dodge to win. Doesn't get it. Obviously couldn't have Bright Powder in this tour. And that's that. Game 1 won by Marcop with honestly pretty convincing fashion. There was a decently clean game other than the crit on the Claydol, which evidently didn't matter because Marcop won anyway. Cool team from Marcop. I do like Jolt Spikes, even if it's kind of hard to fit everything you want. I think Claydol's a good addition just so you don't struggle against other Spike stack stuff. And Pack with a pretty traditional Fori stall / balance, Mix Mence, Wish CM Rachi, Hariyama. Used to be really popular a little while ago, and it's obviously still good. So yeah, good teams from both players. Let's move on to game 2. So, Marcop on the left, Pack on the right. Once again, we see Tire versus Mence. Is Tire going to respect CB Brick Break? It is. And we see Pert coming in needing a Fire Blast. The Pert does have lefties, so no Salic action. And double out. Pert respecting HP Grassed, obviously. And both players just go to Scarm. They're going to spike up. Remains to be seen if either of them have a spinner. Well, Marcop opts to get his third layer, while Pack just roars him out with 2. Gengar coming in from Marcop burns the tire on the way in, and with the 3 spikes in the burn, that is going to add up real quick. Gengar is going to get pursued here, and all the way to nothing. That is an offensive Gar for sure if it took 100% from pursuit. And it's 5-6, just like that. Rock Slide gonna miss the Skarmory on the way in for Markup. We'll see if he has a different response. Nope, just gonna Fire Blast as he gets Toxicked. Pack opting not to go for his third layer. And we do see a Protect as Fire Blast misses inconsequentially. Sorry about that, folks. Pack is opting to preserve the health in his Skarm rather than letting it just get a third spike and die to Fire Blast. And Tire from Marcop reveals HP Grass, so it's that mixed tire set with Rock Slide over Brick Break that's been popular. Arrow comes in on Ments, eats a Brick Break crit, and it's nearly dead. However, even at 16%, Arrow can be plenty dangerous. Even still, it's hard to like Markop's position here too much, especially with Jirachi getting that wish off. And yeah, Tire's going to switch out at 47 and Toxic. It's not going to be doing too much work later this game without some good positioning. Or maybe another wish from this Jirachi Markop's revealed as his last Mon. Still 2 unrevealeds for Pack. Currently in a famous Wish Jirachi war where Pack did get a lucky burn on his first try. And Skyrim gonna come in and eat a Body Slam Para, but get healed to full from the Wish. Looking tough for Markop, however, it is possible with the arrow, I think. The third spike does come down for Skyrim. There's obviously no spinner on Markop's side. And he is just gonna roar out to the Rachi. Skyrim paralyzed, so it'll obviously move before or after that pert. Goes for Toxic, trying to eat the Hydro Pump, but he hits Jirachi anyway. And we do see Fire Punch on a full para. So a bit of good luck for Markop there. Fire Punch will KO that Skarm, however it will do approximately jack to this pert, especially if it doesn't burn. And now Jirachi's going to have to get out of the way. Never mind, it's going to click HP Grass and die to Hydro. However, Pert being that low and 3 spikes on the field, this could be a fantastic Aerodactyl endgame, folks. Jirachi is really high, and it does have Wish Protect. However, never say never. Tire is also getting back in, going to fire off a few more attacks before it succumbs to the Toxic. And I think it'll die here. We'll see what Markop does. Probably just, goes to Aerodactyl. Pert comes in, dodges Rock Slide, but don't think it'll matter. Oh wait, yes it does, because Protect, it'll get out of range. That's pretty awful. Yeah, now it's looking real tough for Markop, because now his Pert's low. Mixment's obviously going to kill it. Doesn't even need to HP Grass at this point. But it still opts to anyway. Yeah, looking tough for Markop to get by both the Salamence and the Jirachi here. Gonna be tough to lock into Earthquake and Rock Slide. He's gonna have to make some good predictions, which is pretty tough with the paralyzed Skarm. Has a really good sack here. And extra tough if he keeps missing Rock Slide. Luckily Pack misses Toxic, but he's still gonna get extra lefties. And, alright, well, there's a flinch, maybe, just maybe, folks. Another Rock Slide miss for the Aerodactyl. It is like 1 for 4 in these things, jeez. Jirachi gonna come in, get a Wish up, could heal up the Skarm, and misses Toxic on the Pert. This has been a haxy series for sure. Ment's back in. Obviously going to be able to KO the Pert, and obviously has Fire Blast, and really anything will KO the Arrow at this point, so can't go to that. Does just opt to HP Grass into Skarm again. And we're not really moving anywhere, but it's still not looking good for Markop. Yeah, especially with Toxic blanking onto that Gengar. Gengar is a great last mon here, because it could potentially live a Rock Slide. Yeah, even still, it just took a Drill Peck, but thanks to Wisp, it did basically nothing. Alright, eats another drill peck. It is probably in rock slide range now, but if you lock in a rock slide, then Jirachi can still just come in. And with the burn, Pack is just going to go to his own Skarmory, try to get some lefties back. Arrow comes in, sure, and it will KO the Skarm with Rock Slide, but that requires it to lock in a Rock Slide and not do much to the Jirachi, so pretty tough scenario for Marcop here. Pack does opt to just let the Skarm go, not risking a flinch on the Jirachi. And yeah, that Rock Slide's not doing much. Fire Punch, Arrow does barely live though. One flinch and it could be game over. Alright, well there's one. Still out of range. Marcop does opt to just sack Pert here. Barely lives a Fire Punch, but it's going to die to the resulting burn. And Arrow's back in. Does he click Earthquake? Does he click Rock Slide? Earthquake on the Protect. Forces the Jirachi out, but yeah, he's going to run out of sacks pretty quickly, especially because nothing can take T-Bolt here. So he has to sack the Skarm. And it's going to have to be Rock Slide flinches all the way down. And with that Intimidate from Mence especially, it is not looking good for Marcop. He will need multiple flinches to win this endgame. Especially with the Wish and the Protect on the Jirachi. Well, there's flinch number one. -1 Rock Slide doesn't kill Mence, however, still gets a flinch and it dies to Sand. This Rock Slide going to be doing even less now, so he needs another flinch here. And doesn't get it. Dies to Fire Punch in a super close game. Damn. Not much to say to that one. That was a little unlucky for Marcop, a little unlucky for Pack, but yeah. I think the Brick Break crit on the Arrow actually really did matter because it couldn't come into Mixments at all late game. So Pack could play really safely while Marcop had to make super aggressive reads to make progress, which is tough in any position, but especially when you're fighting for your life in the lower bracket. So yeah, without much more rambling, here is game 3. And we see new leads again. Zapdos from Marcop, Tire from Pack. Thunderbolt on the Rock Slide, very likely a Dugtrio follow-up then, and that is what we see. Remains to be seen if this is some special offense, Weather Clear maybe from Marcop. Well, we do see Charizard, so it could still be either of those coming in on the Skarm. Important to note, no lefties Charizard, so it could be maybe some sub-Pataya, sub-Salac. Could have Sunny Day. It's going to Fire Blast on the Moltres as it roars. And might have to respect Rock Slide from the Dugtrio here. Just goes to Pert, sure. Pert has to respect HP Grass, but it doesn't, and even with Surf, that Surf is going to do nothing thanks to Sunny Day. And it is in fact Pataya Zard, so it is going to rip a tear through Pack's team here. Skarm takes 1,000,000% from Fire Blast. And, oh my god. Welcome to the second Executor of CI6, folks. And it's going to outspeed the Jolteon there. Miss Sleep Powder as the Venu comes in. That's huge, because now Venu can use its own Sleep Powder. And yeah, this is a wild game, folks. Charizard back in on the Moltres. It's in Blaze range, so Fire Blast does 1,046,000 on the resist. That is huge. Dugtrio coming back in. Gonna threaten out the Moltres and just Earthquakes into the Pert. Nice job there. So he's gonna be able to get some chip on it before it goes. Surf will actually knock it out. Wasn't sure if it would for a second, but does get there. And here comes Jirachi, who could be really threatening with Moltres that low. Does Body Slam, paralyzes the Jolteon, so there goes the biggest form of speed control on Pack's team. Body Slam again, but he is going to paralyze the Jirachi in return. Thunderbolt, no full para for either side yet. And Jolteon is going to get another chance here. Thunderbolt, Wish from Marcop, so Even if he gets a para here, he'll be fine, and it is in fact Jolteon who paras. So nothing doing there. Here comes Moltres, however, who could be a massive threat. Well, not if it misses Fire Blast. Body Slam, however, not doing much at all. Oh my god. Well, Marcop getting slightly bailed, dodging 2 Fire Blasts and then a Leech Seed to put the cherry on top, and a burn. Good lord. That is some terrible luck for Pack there. Gets a tiny reward with a crit HP Fire, but folks, it is not going to be enough to pull this game back. I think Marcop has already won, frankly. Fire Punch going to knock out the Venusaur, and now Swampert has the daunting task of taking out both this Jirachi and the Exeggutor. With only Surf, it might not even get past the Jirachi. We might not even need Exeggutor. He can fish for Body Slam pairs, Fire Punch burns, whatever he wants here, folks. And even a crit Surf from Pert will do absolutely jack. Does opt to go to the Exeggutor. Heals it up with Wish. Sure, it is asleep for all that matters. So, yeah, Surf's still doing nothing. So even with the Exeggutor being asleep here, Pack's going to need several crits, and he's not getting any. Folks, the game is definitely over now that Exeggutor has woken up. Misses Sleep Powder, sure, but I mean, if it has HP Grass or Sunny Day Solar Beam, it's basically over. There's Sleep Powder just to totally wreck the Pert. Solar Beam doesn't even bother with the sun. And dead. Well, we don't know what Marcop's last was, but safe to say if his plan was to tank the Fire Blast with Jirachi, it might not have been that great against Moltres. So yeah, that was a really sucky misses for Pack, and the game totally could have gone either way, obviously. Still, respect for Marcop for bringing a team with fucking Pataya, Charizard, and Exeggutor when he's down 1-1 in the loser's bracket. This man has balls of steel for that one. Pack brought a really interesting team too, for what it's worth. We didn't get to comment on it much with how fast the game was going, but again, Jolt Spikes with a bit more of an offensive take. Really like it. But yeah, and with that, Pack, who a lot of people really liked and were predicting to make it far outside of play-ins, is 0-2 out of the tournament, and Marcop's gonna make it by, get another round, at least. Remains to be seen if he'll make it back all the way to finals like he did last year, but that would certainly be a sight to see. Anyway, enough rambling from me. Hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you in another narration.